Hi, something a wee bit different. I just wanted to show you this. I just finished making this this small shelf. It's basically I designed it as a hobby shelf, basically for putting things like train sets or model cars, or obviously in my case, airsoft guns and pocket knives. Um, I recently bought 4 boards of wood from the sawmill. Usually, I just use cheap pine, not even cheap pine, just free pine that someone else has thrown out or whatever. But I decided it's finally time to go to the sawmill and buy some real wood, if you like. So this is solid European beech. This whole thing was made out of one board. I paid about just under £100 for 4 boards that were 120 centimeters long by about 25 centimeters wide, I think. Anyway, and this is what I made with one of them. So I've still got 3 boards left. Not sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but it is solid. It is solid European beech. I did make this almost entirely by machine. I usually prefer to use hand tools, but I'm not quite good enough to make something like this with hand tools yet. I hope to get there eventually, and I hope to eventually be able to sell things like this. But this is just what I came up with recently. To be fair, my designs aren't that great. I'm terrible at drawing. What I will say is this came out exactly how I imagined it in my head, so that I'm really happy with. I know that it is just the most basic bitch design ever, but I think it actually looks okay. I thought about putting a back on it, either plywood or something like that, but I thought it would look much better with the wall, just the whiteness of the wall in the background. It's quite simple what I did. It's just dados and tennons really, and as I say, I did all the joinery on my table saw. I did most of the work, 80% using the table saw, and I cut out these curves of these radiuses uh, with my bandsaw and filed it down, and I finished the whole thing by hand. I didn't use sandpaper, I just used a cabinet scraper, and then I finished it with I think about 4 coats of mineral oil and 1 coat of beeswax, and I sort of buffed it a little bit using a microfiber cloth. And now I've just got some of my pocket knives on here. So obviously on the top shelf there, I've got some traditional knives. So the first one there on this side, the Rough Rider. Uh, it's either the elephants or the sunfish. I can't remember the difference between the two. Second to that is the Arthur Wright pruning knife in rosewood, followed by the Rough Rider cotton sampler in bone, the Case Gunstock Jack in curly maple, an absolutely beautiful wood. Right there is one of my newest knives, the Rough Rider Reserve one arm razor. I'm still needing to post a video on that. And then the Case Stockman in blue jigged bone. This here is an airsoft replica, a CO2 airsoft replica, Colt Python 357 Magnum by Cybergun, and then the WeTech uh, Glock 18C. Then, of course, on the bottom, I have some Swiss Army knives, the Victorinox Handyman, I think it is, Victorinox Ranger, Victorinox Spartan. I've forgotten the name of that one there, that Evo grip. It's one of the lock-in Evo grips. I don't remember the name unfortunately, but I've done a video on almost everything that's on this shelf anyway, and if I haven't, I will eventually. The Evo Wood 18, it's either the 18 or the 17. The Evo Wood, that's the walnut one, and the Victorinox Pioneer X. So I think I did okay. But I just thought I would show you this because obviously I mainly do knives on this channel, and this is my new knife storage. This is absolutely nowhere near all of my knives. I've got far, far, far more knives than this. And this is just another storage solution that sort of ties together with my much loved hobby of woodworking. I was going to stain this to make it a little bit darker to match my furniture because my TV stand and the rest is solid oak. But I sort of realised, well, the furniture in the kitchen is beech, and my display cabinet is also, well, it's not real beech, but it's veneered beech, so at least this matches my other cabinet where I've got some of my other favourite knives and replicas. None of that I made, but this I did. So I just thought I would share that with you, and I would like, if you don't mind, would you give me some criticisms? Is there anything you like about this, anything you dislike about it? What could I have done better? Obviously there's some glaring issues with it. I've tried my best to correct it. I know it's not perfect, but anything that you've got to say about it, I'd like to know. So yeah, thanks for taking an interest. Hopefully you like it. If not, fair enough. I'm feeling reasonably happy with it. It's right above my couch. I might change things up a little bit, because with it being right above my couch, obviously those are knives, and I don't really want a knife falling on my head. I did jump up and down a bit just to make sure nothing would fall off. The only thing that did fall off was that pistol, but that was when I was in the other room pushing it. So everything seems fine. And it makes the wall look a little bit better, I think, because it's completely bare. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and there's a different angle for you. Please do let me know your thoughts. Cheers.